you are here to provide public comment, there are forms in the back, and I would invite you to go ahead and start filling out one of those forms. Once you do have it filled out, you're going to turn it in over here to Bonnie, over here on your right. And then when it is time for public comment, we will take comments from those forms that have been turned in. So you can go ahead and start on that, and we'll begin our meeting in just a minute or so.
Water bottle.
My water bottle.
Jennifer's, you look like
Lost
a deer.
without that. I'm sorry, I left it over there. Thank you. I didn't see you.
That's bigger.
I got this for you. Sorry, girl. This was fun. I saw that. It looked weird.
Doing it.
All right. Are we good? Okay. Welcome, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. The time is 7 o'clock p.m. We are convened as the Provo City School Board of Education, meeting at 280 West, 940 North in Provo, Utah. And we're going to begin with the roll call. And Devin, let's start with you.
Devin Daly, Business Administrator.
Lisa Boyce, Board Member.
Terry McCabe, Board Member.
Gina Hales, Board Vice President.
Jennifer Partridge, Board President.
Wendy Dow, Superintendent.
Meg Van Wagenen, Board Member.
Emily Harrison, Board Member.
Melanie Hall, Board Member.
And we've got our Student Board Member, Rachel Rue. I don't think we have a mic for you. I'm sorry. Okay. She's here too. Welcome. Thank you. Okay. Do we have a motion to convene our business meeting?
I move that we convene our business meeting.
Okay. Motion made by Board Member Boyce. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Board Member Van Wagenen. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. We are now in our business meeting, and we will begin with opening remarks. And tonight that happens to be my turn. And I just want to start off by sharing that last week I had the opportunity to attend the Hope of America program. And it had been a few years since I'd been able to go. And I just sat there feeling so inspired and almost brought a tear to my eye when the kids were singing Hope of America, we're the Hope of America. And I just thought, yes, you are. These wonderful fifth grade students here singing and just putting their hearts into that program and remembering the principles, the foundations of our government. They sang about the Bill of Rights. They sang about recognizing our military and our service emergency responders, about Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, and the principles behind that. And it was just very inspiring. And it reminded me how much I love being associated with our schools, to be able to go into our schools and see our wonderful students every day and the things that they're learning, and our fantastic teachers who provide wonderful educational opportunities, helping our students learn and grow, not only academically, but as human beings. They're learning about kindness. I don't know how many of you have seen our posts or been in our schools about all the kindness chains that have been up in our schools, symbolizing each act of kindness that our students are doing. And it's just very inspiring. And so as we wrap up the school year, I just want to thank everybody who's been a part of that process, our teachers, our staff, our parents, our volunteers, and our students who are showing up and becoming a little better every day. So thank you very much, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. And with that, we will go on to the Pledge of Allegiance, and we will have our Student Board Member Rachel Rue come up and lead us in that.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Rachel. All right, the next portion of our meeting is our community connections. And I just wanted to remind, for those who just came in, if you are here to give public comment, that will happen at the end of this section. And so if you've not already done so, now is the time to fill out a form. So our forms for public comment are in the back. Start filling that out, and then you can turn it into our assistant Bonnie over here. And then once it's time for that, I'll have those and I'll call up those who have filled one of those forms out. All right, we're going to start with the Provo Way Award, so we'll turn it over to Deputy Superintendent Jason Cox.
Good evening, school board. Thank you for this opportunity to recognize these wonderful Provo Way Award recipients for this month. When I call your name, will you please stand, and we can give everybody applause as we call out their different names. So our first recipient this month is Mariel Boone, teacher from Westridge Elementary. We have Casey Gifford, teacher at Centennial Middle School. We have Hallie McLaughlin, Sunset View behavior aide. Miranda Coford, Provo Peak speech language technician. We have Martin Yablanovsky, Timpview High School assistant principal. We're also recognizing Corey Sikakaptua from Shoreline Middle School counselor. And our Provo Way Student of the Month is Camille Weaver from Canyon Crest Elementary. I have a little video for us of our presentation, and then afterwards we'd love to give the school board an opportunity to thank you each personally. So once we're finished with the video, we're going to invite everybody, our winners up here, to come along and allow the board to thank you each personally.
Miss Boone was my 5th grade teacher. She is kind and patient. She notices how you feel. Miss Boone helps everyone to learn and have fun in her class. Thank you, Miss Boone.
Casey is an amazing teacher. She has great classroom management, rigor in math content, and truly knows her students. She celebrates her students' successes openly for all in her classroom to hear and witness. Casey is constantly moving around to meet with her students, asking great open-ended questions to assess students' knowledge and critical thinking skills. I can't say enough about Casey. She is that amazing.
Miss Hallie is a superstar at Sunset View. And she works so closely with all the students and teachers to provide additional behavior support and services. And the way she is able to connect with students and let them see and know that she's attentive to who they are and what their needs are is truly amazing to see. To watch Hallie is to see someone who truly cares for the students here at our school. We are truly and really lucky to have Miss Hallie on our team here.
I nominated Miranda for the Provo Way Award because she is not afraid to work with any student, no matter how many goals they may have or what kind of assistive technologies that they use. She's always ready to do something really fun with them. She loves making activities that are on theme. She's been so fun to work with, and she has made Provo Peak such a fun place to work. I think she is definitely deserving of this award, and I'm glad that she was able to get it. Great job, Miranda.
Martin is an incredible administrator. He takes the time to answer my questions and to address my concerns in a timely manner. If I'm struggling with something, he listens and gives sound, thoughtful advice. Recently, Martin was in charge of a celebration for all of our students. Several activities were planned, most of which were to take place on the football field. Because of rain, these activities had to be moved inside. Not an easy task. Some people might be panicked with the quick change in plans, but Martin was optimistic, happy, flexible, and confident. Martin is a real gift to Timpview High School.
Mr. S is the school counselor and in charge of Hope Squad. I nominated Mr. S because he is so welcoming. He can make anyone feel better and is so easy to talk to. During lunch, he always goes to all of the tables to talk to us, and it's always fun to see him. He knows all of the students very well, and he makes it a priority to talk to all of his students.
Camille is not only instinctively kind and inclusive, but she also actively seeks out opportunities to help others. She is the first student to offer to push in the chairs, hold doors, or let others go before her. She loves to help in our classroom by passing out papers or gathering supplies. Her friendly disposition influences her peers to show grace to one another. She leads by quiet example in long-lasting ways that positively impact those around her. Camille is a bright spot in our classroom, exemplifying a spirit of sincerity and kindness that makes our school a better place.
Okay, we'd like to invite our winners up, and we'll have them start right over here again, allowing our board to give you a personal thank you for the work that you do and the person you are. Thank you.
I've done that. That's amazing. That's awesome. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Great job, Martin, but I'm not surprised. You're awesome. Thank you.
All right, let's give our Provo Way winners one more round of All right, next I'm going to turn it over to Superintendent Dow to announce a winner of a Utah award from our area.
Sorry. This is our Sorensen Legacy Award. Where's Judy? Is Judy here? Are you going to come up and announce this? I know you sent me an email about this.
No, the Legacy Award, we have someone else here. You're doing Emily Anson.
Oh.
There she is.
Gotcha. Never mind. Wait, hold please. That was my fault. Okay, so we have two things that we want to acknowledge today. One is we had our Portuguese students that actually won a significant award, and because it's crazy and it's the end of the year, they were not able to be here, but I wanted to highlight this. Provo High's Portuguese Bridge students earned first place at the state competition. They received the highest number of superior ratings across multiple events, including prepared and impromptu speaking, poetry recitation, Portuguese bowl, musical performance, and skits, and their overall win highlights both their talent and the depth of their preparation. I think it's really important to understand that the Bridge program really prepares you to actually go to a country and be able to function in that language at quite a high level. And they did a fantastic job and represented Provo High with superior excellence. So we're just really proud of those students and the teacher that really facilitates that and helps them with that. The second person that we want to acknowledge is Emily Ensign. She has been the head secretary at Centennial Middle School. She's kind of the heart of that school, and then we plucked her and put her at Franklin Elementary. She won the Association of Elementary School Principals Administrative Assistant of the Year award. She's just fantastic. She welcomes everybody into the school. She just has created such an incredible feel, and she's just the heart of that school. You'll watch kids that go in and they'll be waiting for their parents to pick them up, and she does sight words with them. Like she uses every single opportunity to help support the entire community. And we're just so lucky to have all of these programs and different things in our district that really make us such a special place. So we just wanted to highlight that this evening.
Next on our agenda is our foundation board member recognition, and we are actually going to save that for another meeting because we want to make sure that all of, or as many of them as possible, can be here for that to recognize their hard work. So we'll move on to the next one, which is our Sorensen Legacy Award for Excellence in Arts Education Recognition. And we will turn it over to Jamie Workman, who is visiting us from the Utah State Board of Education, to present that.
And we also have Leah Voorhees here, who is the Deputy Superintendent from the Utah State Board of Education. We're glad she can join us to help celebrate you guys. My name is Jamie Workman. I am the BTS Arts Specialist for the state of Utah. And if you don't know, BTS is Beverly Taylor Sorensen, and the Sorensen family has been such a supporter of the arts that they have helped and continue to help with projects like this to support our wonderful, amazing art educators. And this year, it's my privilege to present the Sorensen Legacy Award for Excellence in Art Education to the Provo City School District Elementary Music Program.
I feel like we should cheer.
I know. And this program, I did a little research, and it has been around for 25 years, which is an amazing, amazing feat. And it really embodied their program belief that music belongs to everyone. What began through the vision of Dr. Jerry Jackard, who I believe was here today. Oh, never mind. He is not anymore. He was one of the main leaders and passionate educator to grow this program, serving nearly 7,000 students. Under the leadership of dedicated music educators, guided today by Juliana Gilseth, district elementary music coach and quarterly curriculum specialist, this program is a model of excellence for arts education. Through singing, movement, creative, and joyful learning, students gain not only musical skills, but confidence, literacy, and belonging. And the goal, the lifelong love of music. This success is a result of the entire community, the teachers, the administrators, the school board members, parents, and advocates who have protected and championed the arts for decades. At this time, I would like to also recognize the elementary music teachers. If you can stand here.
Yeah.
Up. And thank you for sustaining such a rich, amazing program that helps not only the students feel belonging in the classes, but grow an amazing secondary arts education program. Thank you for the support of this board, for all of that you're doing, the State Board of Education, Lisa Clough, who works at Artworks for Kids and wish she could be here today. And thank you for your unwavering commitment to arts education. So I will invite Jackie and all to hand you this beautiful award, and then invite all of the educators to come up.
Yeah, can we have all the music educators come stand up front here?
Yeah.
Let's.
I would just like to echo what was shared.
A very big thank you to USBE, to the Utah State Board of Education, and also to Beverly Taylor Sorensen for this wonderful recognition. We know that it has been a team effort over the last many decades to help arts take stronger root throughout our entire state. And we are grateful to our school board, to our superintendent Dow, to Kayleen Nelson for supporting us, and most importantly to our teachers and our parents and our community who are behind us all the way, and we are very grateful. Thank you very much.
It's so wonderful to see you guys receive this award. We have had a lot of discussions lately about our programs and things, and it was very clear to our whole community how much we value our elementary music program. Our parents, our students, the board, we all are so grateful for the work that you do and for the state to be recognizing this outstanding program. We really appreciate you being here and presenting this award as well, so thank you all. All right, next we are going to recognize our student board members for this year, followed by we will then announce our student board member for next year. We'll turn it over to board members Gina and Melanie to do that. Or Gina. Okay, Gina.
Thank you. We will start with recognizing our outgoing board members. We're very proud of them and all that they have achieved. Not just with being student board members, but just with all of the things they're doing. One of our student board members, Bailey, is not able to be here, but we do have Rachel. Rachel, come on up. Everybody give Rachel a hand. Everything, including having a playoff game for lacrosse, field hockey, lacrosse today. Is that a war scar? I see. Yep, she even has war scars to show us. But we're grateful that she made it here to do the pledge and everything. So thank you for coming. I'm going to give you a second to think about it, but I'd like you to say maybe just take a minute to talk about maybe one thing that you can take away from this experience, and then one piece of advice for our incoming board member. But before I have you sit down and think about it, or stand, or whatever you want to do, we do give our student board members cords to wear for their graduation. It has all the colors of all three of our high schools. So here's your cord. And then each student board member gets a $1,000, is it scholarship? Yep. Award for whatever is next in your life. And so this is your official certificate of recognition, and then when you're ready to utilize that $1,000, you reach out, I believe, to Devin. Is that correct? Reach out to Devin, and Devin will do that. So everybody give her another round of applause. So before Rachel says her thing, I would like to now recognize we're supposed to have two. We're still working on Provo Highs, but Timpview, we selected our student board member from Timpview for next year, and that is Malaki Lesa. You want to come on up? And he was part of our student advisory council last year, so we're very excited that he is accepted, that he applied and then was accepted to be a student board member. So I'm going to have you think about, just 1 minute, maybe what's one thing you want to accomplish, or what are you looking forward to as serving as the student board member. I see that your family is here. Thank you for coming. So I'm going to let Rachel go ahead and say her piece, and then Malaki will say his piece, and then I think I'm done.
I just want to share my appreciation for the board and how hard they work. Being there for all the board meetings and all the committee meetings, I see the effort that we all put in and how much we do appreciate all the input that we get from the public and from all the emails. I know every single one is read, and that we really do try to see what's best for our community. I really enjoyed my time being able to see all of the amazing and some of the craziest things of how expensive a boiler can be for one school. Once you hit the millions, it's like, I'll never see that money ever in front of me, but But I think a big takeaway I've gotten from this whole experience is starting to appreciate how much community brings to yourself and to others. And even as a student board member, being able to get that input from students alike and being able to recognize how different all of our experiences are. But at the end of the day, we just want the best education for ourselves and for our community. And I just want to thank you guys all again.
Rachel, tell us what your plans are.
Sorry, Malaki. Sorry.
I'm planning on attending BYU in the fall and majoring in political science and trying to go on a pre-law track.
That's awesome.
And then one piece of advice I have for our upcoming student board member, Malaki, is to get really close with your community and be really open. Make sure that you're talking to as many different type of people as you can, and getting close with your student advisory council. I think it really helps.
First off, I'd like to just reintroduce myself to those of you who don't know me. My name is Malaki Lasa. I attend Timview High School. I will be a senior next year, and I'm so excited for this opportunity to be able to serve the students in our community, represent them, and also to serve our district and our community as a whole. I'm so grateful. I was blessed to have the opportunity to be part of the Student Advisory Council last year, and I will say that I've learned a lot, and I'm grateful for Rachel and her setting an example for me on how to be a good student board member and how to be organized. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to improve those skills and to work with each and every one of you and to get to know you guys. One thing that I stressed in my interview that I'm looking forward to accomplishing is better interaction between our schools, not only just the high schools, but even throughout all levels of elementary, middle school, and high school. That's one of the big things I'm looking forward to trying to improve this year. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to work with all of you on that. Besides that, I don't have much else to say except for let's get to work.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel, for all of your work. It's a lot of work. This is you get a lot out of this position, but you also work really hard. So thank you for your work, and we look forward to working with you, Malaki. Thank you.
We love having our student board members be a part of the work that we do and the perspective that you bring. So congratulations to Rachel, good luck, and welcome, Malaki. All right, next on our agenda is our time for public input. We've set up to 30 minutes for this time. When I call your name, you'll come up, you'll state your name and what elementary boundary you live in, or if you're a teacher, where you work. And then you have up to 3 minutes to share your comments. Before I call anyone up, I just want to think we have had community meetings where we have gotten a lot of public input recently. We do have one more on Thursday at 6 p.m. at Amelia Earhart, and we are grateful for all the input that the community does give. As Rachel alluded to, we recognize the value that our community's perspective brings to all the decisions that we have. Our public comment time here is for us just to listen, and if there is anything to provide information back to you on your comments, we'll follow up with you after the meeting at some point. So first we have Marion Yunrao, and I'm sorry if I said your last name wrong. Come on up.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm not sure this is the place to share this idea.
Can you just, for the record, state your name?
My name is Marion Yunrao. I teach at Timview High School, and I am a science teacher there. I hope this is okay to make this comment and make this suggestion. At our high school, I am part of a team of teachers, and we are there specifically to support the 9th graders coming in. Often we are able to find students that based on their struggles and the supports that we give them, and they're still struggling, we feel like they should be tested for special ed, and most of the time we have correctly identified that they need testing and they need that extra support. Sometimes they've been in the district the whole time since first grade. Sometimes they've been in the district years and failing the whole time. And I'm wondering if there couldn't be some program put into place, so maybe in third grade, like the lowest quartile or whatever, can be tested so we can catch them earlier, give them support they need earlier. I mentioned that to another teacher and they said, well, maybe it's because of money. I think a person's success in life is important enough to spend the money on that. I've talked to students that are in the halls sometimes and I say, you should go to class. And they say, why should I bother? It doesn't help. These kids need support. Let's catch them early. What a tragedy for them to get all the way to high school and feel so discouraged by that point that they don't bother coming and they feel like it's hopeless. So maybe something that can be done for early testing, early intervention, early help. To think that they have to go this many years to get to ninth grade or even higher before they're identified and get the support they need, I feel like is a tragedy. So, thank you.
Thank you, Marin. Appreciate your comments. Next, we have Meg McNary.
Hi, my name is Meg McNary. I live in the Lakeview Elementary School District, and so I was just wanting to speak to you about the fact I have 3 children in elementary school in 1st, 3rd, and 5th grade, and when we signed up our oldest for the DLI program, we did so assuming that it would be a good thing for them to learn another language, and it's been amazing. Having watched all of them as they learn a second language has increased their confidence and abilities in all areas of their academics. And as time has gone on, I've been thrilled to realize that because they're taught Brazilian Portuguese, they're also taught about a culture and a country that's different than their own. And I feel like this experience helps them to better understand that we're all children of God and that we have much to learn from all people, even those who are very different than us. And I've seen the effects of this as many of the youth that I work with in my church congregation have been sent to Portuguese-speaking countries throughout the world to serve there, specifically because they were in the same DLI program that my kids currently attend. We have absolutely loved our time at the school that our children go to, and a large part of that has been the amazing professoras and professors that speak Portuguese and teach our children. They work so hard to help them learn multiple subjects in a second language, which is undoubtedly much harder than even learning in their native tongue. We would be absolutely shattered if the positions that many have come from far to fill from far and wide were eliminated, leaving their ability for employment elsewhere, much less anywhere in the near geographic area, severely diminished, if not completely removed from them. School closings and consolidations are not my first choice for where budget cuts should be made, but my understanding is that that is something that sometimes has to be considered as population and demographics change over time. Teachers from regular schools are able to be reabsorbed into other schools or office buildings throughout the district and even to other nearby schools with less devastating impact on their lives than a DLI professor who now has very few, if any, options of where they can go to teach their predominant area of expertise. This is also to say nothing of how earth-shattering it would be to my kids if their Portuguese education suddenly came to a halt in a actual structured educational setting. Please, I ask you to work to make sure our DLI programs can continue. I know that hard decisions must be made and that we are petitioning to keep learning Portuguese at the school we love. It has anchored our family into this community in a way that would not have happened if it had just been at a regular school. Please let us keep this program that has literally changed the lives and trajectories of so many children and families for many years. Losing it would genuinely be a terrible tragedy and one that reversing would be virtually impossible to do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Meg. Next is Holly Williams.
Hi, I'm Holly Williams. I live in the Rock Canyon neighborhood. I'm going to give a shorter request to also remove school closures from your options with your budget issues. After studying the study that you guys had done from a consultant and reading through his recommendations or their recommendations, and he actually stated that our school district is in a strong position and that our numbers are holding strong. And if you look at the numbers of any of the schools that you're trying to close, those cannot be absorbed in just one school. They have to be moved across almost an entire section of our city. And the numbers just don't support closing a school right now, at least. And we'd like you to explore and execute all the other ideas that you've shown at all the other meetings and actually put them in place before you decide to close the school. The impact on each individual neighborhood would be huge, and the kids don't deserve to have that happen to them. And all of our special programs are also very important, and we should do everything we can to keep and save those. When you combine a school, it creates other problems by overcrowding. Pickup lines get more congested. And the issues that are at Timpanogos are more of systems issues. They're not necessarily all the things that have been laid out. And we would just like every other option to be explored and executed before you even and we'd like it taken off the table, honestly, to take school closures 100% off the table. That's all.
Thank you, Holly. Before we call the next person up, I will just say that in our study session, we actually talked a lot about this, and we used the same phrase, off the table. And so I will repeat, for those who aren't able to watch that yet, that we have said we are focused on DLI, and we need to do that first. And so for right now, school closures are off the table while we focus on DLI and also focus on creating a policy for examining our boundaries and enrollment, and if and when we would need to close a school, what that would look like. And we're going to involve a parent group, a committee that we're going to put together on that. So for now, our focus is on the DLI, and then any changes that might happen with DLI, letting those settle before we would look at making any other changes. So, all right, next we have Chanel Robinson.
Hi, my name is Chanel Robinson. I live in the Lakeview boundaries, but my children attend school at Timpanogos Elementary. And I'm just here to advocate for our DLI programs. I know that that's kind of an area of focus right now. Timpanogos is a Spanish DLI school, and it is just an incredible school, and the opportunities the kids are getting in DLI are really incredible, and they're learning the language so well, and the cultural experiences they're receiving are really wonderful. I think, as most of us know, young childhood is just a magic time for being able to acquire a language. I did a DLI program as a child. I've tried to learn language as an adult and have failed miserably, but as a child I was able to learn those languages because your brain is just able to absorb that so well at that stage of your life. So I think it should be something we very much value in our community and in our schools, and I know we do, and I know there's challenges around it, but as we're looking at it, I think instead of looking at ways to scale it back, if anything, we could scale up, maybe having DLI only schools or having the language all day. I was in an all day program as a child where everything was Spanish all day except for our specialties. I think there's creative solutions we could look at of ways to maybe make those opportunities available to more children. It's just such an important part of education and such a special time when kids actually can learn those languages very, very well. And I think it's one thing that really sets our district apart, that we do have such great language learning opportunities for our children. But yeah, as we are just exploring that and thinking about challenges, I don't know if we can put together some, similar to the boundary things, if we can put together some sort of parent committee with DLI or some way that we can get input into that and how we can continue to keep those programs in our schools and the value they provide for our children, while also balancing the needs of the children who are not in the DLI programs. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Chanel. Next is Shannon Bingham.
All your favorite characters.
Sorry. Hello, I'm Shannon Bingham from the Timp neighborhood. From what you said about school closure being taken off the table, that changes my remarks just a little bit. But it was a really a concern that the Provo School District has stated that declining elementary enrollment and funding challenges may require closing one or more neighborhood schools. But at the exact same time, the district is moving forward with plans to rebuild Timpanogos Elementary, estimated at $50 million. An elementary school that is 18 years old, while repurposing the current building for possible administrative offices, childcare, preschool, and other district programming, estimated at $25 million. To many taxpayers and parents, this simply does not make financial or practical sense. If enrollment is declining enough to justify closing schools, why is the district simultaneously spending taxpayer money to construct a brand new elementary school? Those two messages directly conflict with each other. The district's own consultant stated Provo was not in a crisis. Enrollment was described as holding steady, with building utilization averaging 85%, which was considered healthy and efficient overall. The consultant also stated school closures were not an immediate recommendation and that boundary adjustments were the preferred first step and supported by the community. That is important because it shows there is time to pursue less disruptive and less expensive solutions before permanent closing neighborhood schools. Parents and taxpayers are also concerned about the district's financing approach. Rather than asking voters to approve a traditional bond election, the district appears prepared to use municipal bonding authority, which allows major construction projects to move forward without direct voter approval. While legal, many citizens feel this reduces transparency and public accountability, especially when discussing a project that includes rebuilding a newer school while simultaneously discussing school closures elsewhere. If the district truly faces financial strain from declining enrollment, then the priority should be preserving neighborhood schools, maximizing use of existing buildings, adjusting boundaries where necessary, and limiting large capital expansion projects until the community fully understands the long-term plans. Closing schools while building a new school sends mixed signals to taxpayers. It raises reasonable questions about priorities, long-term planning, and whether the district is creating additional administrative space at the expense of neighborhood schools. Parents are asking the district to slow down, provide full transparency, consider less disruptive options first, and allow the public a meaningful voice before irreversible decisions are made. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. And just some of the questions you brought up, we actually discussed tonight in our study session. So I'll just point you to go back and watch that when you have time. About an hour into our study session, we did talk about some of those very things. So thank you for bringing up those great questions. The final one I have is Christy Giblin. And while she's coming up, I'll just say if there's anyone else here that wanted to give public comment, you still have another minute or two to fill out the paper and turn it in.
Hello, always good to speak at school board meeting. I'm Christy Giblin. I teach at Shoreline Middle School, and I'm the president of the Provo Education Association. And I am speaking tonight on behalf of the association. I just wanted to remind our board and our superintendent and business administrator that we do appreciate the work that you do. And I have been following the discussions in the community over the last several months, both online and some of the in-person meetings. And I do find it disheartening to see some of the negative comments that have been made towards our board and district admin, making accusations about poor choices in spending or lack of transparency. As a member of our association board, I attend pretty much every school board meeting. I don't have to tell you that, but statement for the public, and every study session. And I do feel like this is an extremely transparent board. I really enjoy the in-depth discussions that you have in study sessions, and the discussions where you explain things in a way that even people that haven't paid attention to every meeting can understand why you're making the decisions that you're making. And as we are currently in the process of approving a negotiated agreement for next year, I hope that our teachers know that there is also that transparency and that availability for people to watch board study sessions and to understand why those financial decisions are being made. Most of these things are so complex it would be impossible to sum it up in one meeting. You have to understand that there have been months and months of discussion on these things and that there is a bigger long-term picture. And I just want you to know that there are a few of us out there that do pay attention and that do understand what's going on. And even though we don't always agree, I mean, we have some pretty hot discussions sometimes about disagreements in the priority for spending. And, you know, we don't always see things the same way, but I do see that all of the decisions are being made out of a strong sense of responsibility towards the public, towards the taxpayers, towards teachers, and most importantly, towards students. And every discussion comes back to what are we doing to support teachers so that teachers can support students. And I hope people really do appreciate that because, you know, I get to have my own fun time of explaining to people why our negotiated agreement is what it is. And not all of our teachers understand all of that, the backstory to how we come to those agreements. But, you know, it gives me specific empathy towards you all for what you have to explain to the public. And know that I see you and I appreciate you. And thank you for your continued work to watch out for our community and for our students.
Thank you, Christy. All right, that is all the public comment papers we've received. And so with that, we'll close this portion of our meeting and move on to our business items. And thank you for all of those who've been here tonight. And it's okay if you don't want to stay for the business part. That's all right. We will start with our 26-27 school fee schedules. And Devin will have you give a brief synopsis.
So this is our state requirement. This is our second board meeting. We've gone through the fee schedules for all of the secondary schools and then the district-wide schedule that has some of the things that are for all schools. We understand that there's a lot of discussion about it. We are required to put what the maximum amount is per activity, although the actual fee that may be paid could be lower if we're just having to approve some fees about a year before the activities are planned, so it makes it a little bit of a challenge. The spend plans are on the district website at provo.edu/school-fees if you're looking at what each of those fees entail, and so this is just the last approval for it.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the school fee schedule?
I move that we approve the 2026-2027 school fee schedules as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Van Wagenen. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice President Hales. Is there any discussion on the motion? No. Okay. Then all in favor with aye? Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yes, Terry?
Can
you use the mic?
Did we make sure the wording included all the changes that needed to be made, like e-school sports need to be moved into a different category and all the other changes that need to be made?
So as we say, as discussed in open meetings tonight, I take that to mean as with how we've talked about it in our study session. So, yes. All right. Thank you for clarifying. Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor with aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. Next is our construction and general managers for the new elementary school on the Dixon site.
So this is just, we went through the RFP process after we selected our architect, and the RFP process was really well done by all of our team, and the contractor that was selected is Westland. So they are planning on working in conjunction with the architect as design is happening.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the construction and general managers as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Vice President Hales. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Harrison. Any discussion?
I just want to say that I'm going to support this. because I'm going to support the rest of the board, but you guys know my position from the study session.
Okay, thank you, Melanie. Any other discussion?
Just the same. I have concerns, but I do understand the information that's been shared with us, and yeah.
Any other comments, discussion? All right, all those in favor with aye? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. Next, we have our 2026-27 school land trust plan.
So these plans align with the school improvement plans, but it lays out the specific land trust money that comes from the state and how that will be spent to support their academic goals for the 26-27 school year.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the land trust plans for the 2026-2027 school year as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Boyce. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Board Member Hall. Any discussion?
I just want to say, if anyone's watching this meeting, this is a link you should click on. You should click on the link from our study session. You should open a school improvement plan. You should see the thought and care and leadership that parents, community council members, administrators, and teachers have put into really creating outstanding academic opportunities for every single child. They're super inspiring work. They're thorough and thoughtful and intentional, and I think it would be worth looking at.
Great, thank you. Anything else? All right, all those in favor with aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And next are our school improvement plans.
Yeah, so that's just the overarching plan that will guide the schools for the entire year, and it has all the different expenditures that are part of it. So that we'll be reflecting on it at every single principal leadership meeting.
Okay. Do you have a motion?
I move that we approve the school improvement plans for the 2026-2027 school year as discussed in open meetings tonight.
A motion made by Board Member Van Wagenen. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice President Hales. Do we have any discussion on the motion? All right, all those in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And next is our TSSA funding plans.
So this is specific money that also comes from the state and is awarded to each school based on student population. Same thing, it's all tied to the goals of the school improvement plan and just lays out their specific funding sources for different supports in the school.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the TSSA funding plans for the 2026-2027 school year as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Harrison. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Board Member Boyce. Do you have any discussion? I will just say for the public, all of these are put into one document, one plan, to make it easier for everyone, those who are creating it, those who are reading it. So it's all in one place, but we do have to approve them separately for some of the different state requirements. But I do appreciate, it used to be we had them in separate documents and it could get really confusing for everybody. So this is a much nicer way, I feel like, to do it. So, okay, all those in favor with aye?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And next is our intent to proceed with truth and taxation, and we'll turn that over to Devin to explain.
So this is just the statement that needs to be done in a business meeting that we are intending to do a truth and taxation. If the amount is $4 million, but it will be a net increase of 3.1 when you have a decrease in your debt service fund. The tax impact statement is available online, and we will post it on our website as well.
Okay. Whoever's controlling the screen, is it possible to click on that document so people can see it?
It's so beautifully done with lots of artistic ability there.
Graphics.
So what this talks about is just the rate change based on today's valuation, which I don't have the new valuation for this next year that the rate will be based on. So the requirement is that I base it on the current year. And then with all of the current revenue, the proposed revenue, and the difference that that will make on homes and businesses and what that is for. So the tax increase of 2.5 million is directly for teacher and staff salary increases for this year. And then the increase of 1.5 million in capital projects fund is for the interest payment for the lease revenue bond, which has been coming from the general fund. So that will free up the rest of that money. And then the decrease in the debt service fund of 850,900.
Okay, thank you, Devin. Do we have a motion on this item?
I don't see any language. Do we just
It doesn't need to be voted on.
Okay.
We just have to make the statement.
Oh, we just have to make the statement.
Yep, it does not need a vote.
Oh, thank you for clarifying that. Okay. Well, there it is. And we will continue to be talking about this. And then, as we said in the study session, we'll actually have the Truth in Taxation hearing on August 5th. Mm-hmm. And we will give notice and more advertising for that as we get closer. All right. Oh, Lisa.
I just want to clarify that these numbers can and will change between now and when we talk about it, probably the next time and August, based on what we hear from the county.
It'll change when we do.
What we know now.
It's based on valuation and what those the rate would be for this year's valuation. So once we have the new basic rate that the state assigns, that's money that they take out of our WPU, and then any charter school amounts, that is also something that the state assigns. We'll have those rates a little bit more nailed down, and whether that full amount will be needed based on any growth that we've received this year.
Okay. Is there any more discussion on this item? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the next one, which is our large purchase request for playground equipment at Lakeview.
Oh, so sorry. This is for the replacement, our first non-kindergarten playground that we're replacing. Wasatch is already this way, but we are doing the port in place surface and new equipment in the Lakeview playground. We will review always in facilities committee when we talk about other playgrounds that need to be replaced in later years.
Okay, do we have a motion on this item?
I move that we approve the large purchase request for the Lakeview Elementary Playground in the amount not to exceed $400,000.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Boyce. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice President Hales. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor with aye? Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. And next is our large purchase request for asphalt projects.
So every year during the summer, we have a lot of asphalt projects, a lot of the crack seal and maintenance. With this year, a little bit of repair to some of the parking lot at the district office that is starting to flood a couple of parts of the buildings. So we will be doing that starting right after school gets out.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the large purchase request for asphalt projects in the amount of $394,072.71.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Hall. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Harrison. Any discussion?
Can I just make one more comment just for the public?
Please.
All of these projects that are on this list are things that were in the current budget. So this is not new budget. These are projects that were budgeted at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. And just when they're over 50,000, they have to come individually for board approval.
Correct.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying that. All right, any other discussion?
Actually, I was going to say we probably should make the motion as discussed in open meetings, since there were some errors in the document from the company.
Yeah, so all we need to do is approve the amount, and they can correct those things either way. It's great. So they'll make those changes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that to our attention earlier. So, but I think it works with this language as well. Is what I'm trying to say. So, okay. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. And next is our large purchase request for the Independence High School HVAC units.
So this is just a normal replacement of units that are over 30 years old.
All right, do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the large purchase request for Independence High School HVAC units in the amount of $197,223. Oh my gosh, $223.51.
Great job, Board Member Harrison. Motion made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Board Member Van Wagenen. Do we have any discussion? All right, all those in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And next we have our large purchase request for the district office HVAC units.
So this is also units that are 30 years old, which is about the lifespan. So it's not like we've milked them forever, but we've gotten it to a spot throughout the district that we've gotten to a really good replacement schedule rather than just trying to react to emergencies, especially on our HVAC.
All right, do we have a motion on this item?
I move that we approve the large purchase request for the district office HVAC units in the amount of $205,319.90.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Van Wagenen. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice President Hales. Any discussion? I will just add in something that we talked about in study session, that if the district office were to be moved within the lifespan of these, that we could repurpose these HVAC units somewhere else, right, Devin?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And now we are on to our policies. And we did not have the opportunity to go in detail during our study session on them. So as we do each one, we'll just have Wendy give the overview and the changes since our last time.
Yeah, these are all second readings, so they should be fairly easy, but we're always happy to keep working through them. So first policy, 5080, employee contracts for our education support professionals. We did add a definition of benefits. This was Rebecca Rogers' recommendation because we had been tying that to just health and retirement benefits, and so just created a definition there. Everything else has stayed the same since the last reading.
All right, do we have a motion?
I move that we approve policy 5080, contracts educational support professionals, as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Vice President Hales. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Board Member Boyce. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. Next is policy 5096.
So this policy requires staff members to report student misconduct. We wanted to make sure from our discussion last time, it kind of sounded like we only report this misconduct if it's happening in extracurricular activities, so we actually made it so that it encompasses more than that. So you'll see on lines 27 and 28 that we pulled out the section on participating in student government co-curricular activities, because it really is just if it's a student that's involved in any of these activities at any point. So notice on line 29, it says this applies to conduct occurring in the classroom, on school property, or during any school-sponsored activity, regardless of location, and then gives examples of that reportable conduct. And then as policy 3510, if you approve that tonight, then we'll go ahead and link that. We added that down on line 43 so that that policy is there that governs student conduct. Any questions?
Okay, should we do a motion and then we can ask questions with discussion? Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, go ahead, ask your question.
No,
Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay.
You should probably ask your question before we make a motion in case we decide not to do it.
There are just a couple small, I just thought there were a couple small things.
You bet.
The consistency, this is silly, but around like when we say district, and sometimes it's capitalized, sometimes it's not, just just something to kind of clean it up a teeny bit would be to
Got it.
make that consistent throughout. And then
Would you like it capitalized or not? Because
don't-
I would like it capitalized, but.
then let's do it every time.
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent.
for sure.
Okay.
But the other thing is just was around like using. So we changed the name from reporting student
Yes.
prohibited acts to student misconduct, which I felt was great. I felt like there were a couple times internally where maybe we were still using the old language, and
Like line 24.
if we wanted to make that
Line
consistent.
24, let's see.
I think like line 24 came to mind that we might just, but it might work internally and just not need to be the title.
Oh, yeah, we
What are
could
you
change
saying?
that. You wanna, yeah, okay, it's because I can't see. So line 24, you wanna change that
Anyway,
language, we can change that.
Sorry, we usually do
Yep.
that at like policy meeting, but
Yeah, well, we canceled
very-
it, so I'm gonna
those
put
are
in
the
a memo
small
right
things.
here.
Yeah, the rest
Those
of
are
it, I
awesome.
think it's a great policy, and I'm glad we have clarity now around, exactly how thoroughly this applies, and I like it linked with some of our other policies so people know.
Okay. Any other questions before we take a motion? All right, do we have a motion on this item?
Just trying to get back to the item.
I move that we approve policy 5096, reporting student misconduct as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Vice President Hales. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Boyce. Any other discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. And next is policy 3220, student uniforms.
So this is if, this creates a policy in case a school wants to adopt school uniforms or if a district wants to adopt a district-wide policy. And there was just some language that was inconsistent between the parent-initiated uniform policy and then the district-level uniform policy. So you'll see those strikeouts of that paragraph 70 through line 84. And this is what we tried to clean up this language. So parents of students attending a school may petition the principal to implement, modify, or discontinue a school uniform policy. If the principal receives a petition signed by parents representing at least 20% of the students enrolled for the following school year, the principal shall submit the question to the parents of all students who would be affected by the proposed policy. Only parents of students subject to the proposed policy or change may vote, with one vote permitted per family. The principal shall determine the time and manner of the election. And then we didn't have clarification on, well, how do we decide if that policy actually goes into place? So added this language: is a majority of the parents voting approve the proposal to implement, modify, or discontinue the school uniform policy, the principal shall proceed with implementation of the approved proposal. To promote consistency and avoid frequent changes, any approved school uniform policy shall remain in effect for a minimum of 4 years. That was what we had talked about. Do those lines feel like that reflects what we had talked about? Okay. Go ahead, Lisa,
And do we
please.
want to add any timeline around that proposed change would go into effect the beginning of the following school
Good.
year? I
Thank
just
you.
don't think we really want parents voting in the middle of a school year and someone needing to go out and change their
I think
child's
it has to happen
wardrobe.
next
Yeah.
week. Yeah. Any other thoughts about that?
And then we did a very similar thing on the district one. So the Board of Education may modify this. The board determines anyway, it's parallel language there, but we can add the same thing, Lisa, on that one so that we have the timeline.
sense to
I think it
everyone
totally
else.
does
I
make
don't know.
sense. It does say, oh no, it doesn't. Never mind. Got it. Yep. Okay.
And just to clarify, this is like state code. That's
Yes.
why we are
Yeah,
making
we're
sure
not,
we
we're
have
not,
this.
yeah,
like-
we're not, I mean, if somebody wants to have school uniforms, we can have that
Right,
conversation.
Yeah,
but
we're
no.
cleaning up all our.
We're not
making sure we're up to code
trying
with
to
all
add
this.
No, we're not trying to add it. We're just making sure it's there because there are, in case somebody wanted to bring this forward.
All right, do we have a motion on policy 3220?
I move that we approve policy 3220, student uniforms, as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Boyce. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Board Member Hall. Any discussion? All in favor with aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And next is policy 3006, special programs.
This is the one where we notify parents of incoming kindergartners about the higher education savings options. We had discussed that we wanted to add that maybe there would be more times in which we're making parents aware of this. So lines 30 to 32 demonstrate that. Provo City School District will further share information about this plan in newsletters on our website and social media posts at parent nights and during online registration at the beginning of each school year. Just so that we're promoting it all the time.
I like the sentiment of that. Do we want to be that specific in policy that then we have to follow through with each of those
We'll follow
types?
through with each of those.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really
Yeah.
stressed about that.
Great.
Caleb's probably stressed
Enthusiasm.
about it, but I'm not stressed about it.
Okay. You know, we're so busy. So, okay. Great. Do we have a motion on policy 3006?
I move that we approve policy 3006, special programs, higher education savings options as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Vice President Hales. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Board Member Van Wagenen. Any other discussion? All right, seeing none. All in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And next is policy 3510, student activities.
So the policy itself is pretty general, and then we have two procedures that accompany it, and it really is just talking about curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular. It's really going to primarily be about extracurricular activities and what the requirements are for that. And then state law requires us to put this thing in about secret societies that can't be there. Basically what it's saying is that you can't force a student to be part of something in order to be part of an extracurricular group. So that's why that has to be included. So I'll do that. Then let's go to the procedure. I added on line 5 eligibility for student extracurricular activities because it started to sound like this was requirements for any specific activity, and it's not. It really is in alignment with Utah High School Activities Association. This is all coming out of their manual. It is what our high schools also follow for a lot of different activities. We did add the fees for participation, and then all of this on academic eligibility. And I put on line 56 for high school students to maintain academic eligibility because there are activities that 7th and 8th graders are involved with, but there isn't this UHSAA requirement that's tied to it. A school could certainly adopt whatever policy that they wanted to. And then it has really specific requirements if there are different offenses that happen so that across the state, students are being disciplined in a similar way. We also added on lines 214 to 215, we will, as soon as we get policy 3025 cleaned up and ready to go, we will add that connection to prohibition of bullying, harassment, hazing, and retaliation. And then line 247, we added prescribed moratoriums because state law has changed on what those moratoriums look like. And then we also added on line 290, policy 5096 about reporting student misconduct because that paragraph is talking about coaches and assistants and advisors not permitting hazing. So those are just a couple of the changes that came. And then procedure 2 is about the student code of conduct. On lines 12 and 13, it's part of the orientation process for extracurricular and co-curricular activities. I've spoken with Daryl about this as he's been working with the high schools. It's something that they do on UHSAA, but it is something we want to make sure coaches are and athletic directors are reviewing with students. So mostly just so they don't get surprised by what the consequences are. And so this will be there. This aligns with that UHSAA rules, but it basically is from the student perspective. I'm agreeing to this. And so it will be in an online format for students to approve. Any questions about 3510?
All right, do we have a motion for 3510?
I move that we approve policy 3510, student activities as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Boyce. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice President Hales. Any discussion? All in favor with aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And next is policy 4178, driver education.
Okay, I feel like I gotta pick up the energy here. Here we go. Driver education. Are you excited for this? Teenagers driving. That's just scary. So I would love you to go down to lines 46 through 56. So this was where we had that kind of confusing language. I talked with Clay. It's the idea that if a student is completing, say, an online course elsewhere, and then they want to come in and do the driving at their high school, they still have to pay the full fee. So we wanted to make sure that that was clear. So we say students will be required to pay the full cost of the district's driver education program needed to complete any remaining requirements. We also talked about doing a procedure for how they enroll. I actually found out something very fantastic about this. So the high schools actually have very good websites for driver education that walks you through. But if you go to the district website and ask for driver education, it takes you to one from like 2012. Caleb immediately fixed it, and so now we've got it so that it's going to the respective high schools. And that's where I think parents were getting so frustrated, is because they didn't know what to do. And I'm like, this is actually laid out very, very well. So I just added this language. Students who are enrolled in the online course with their respective high school do receive priority scheduling for simulators and road instruction, because that's been an issue, and it does state that in each of the high school sites. Please check your high school's website for specific information about registering for driver education. And I got really specific, so they better never change how we get to it. But each high school's website includes a link entitled Student Essentials. Under this heading, a link to the school's driver education website is provided that gives specific information, instruction, and contact information for registration and payment. I hope that covers it.
Wow.
Amazing.
Can I just add, as a mother who had to go through this with 3 children, that was the most concise way of finding it.
Thank you. See, I was like, I just need
Very helpful.
need some help there. We just need to lay it out.
Step by
It's all
step.
good. Okay.
Anything else on that one? No. Okay. Do we have a motion? Policy.
I move that we approve policy 4178, driver education, as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Motion made by Board Member Hall. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Harrison. Any discussion? All right, all in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And next we have policy 3020, non-discrimination and harassment.
So this policy, I'm going to ask the board to table because we are required to get parental input. I have sent it to our parent advisory committee and our community connections committee. We haven't received anything back from that, but I do think that needs to be documented. So I would like to table that until we've had a little more evidence that that's been out there.
All right. Do we have a motion to table policy 3020?
Gina's making me. I move that we table policy 3020, non-discrimination harassment, as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Board Member McCabe. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice President Hales. Any discussion? Okay, I think it's great that we work to get parents on that for sure. So. All right, all in favor with tabling policy 3020, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. And next is policy 3025.
Same thing. We would like to table this until we get further. We are also required to get input from parents, and we need to be able to document that. So I'd like to table that so that we have a chance to get more input.
Okay. Do we have a motion to table policy 3025?
I move that we table policy 3025, prohibition of bullying, hazing, and retaliation, which will replace current policy 3320, as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Harrison. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Board Member Van Wagenen. And do we have any discussion? All right, all in favor with aye? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passed unanimously. And our last policy is 4050.
Oh my gosh, the last one, this is online learning. There aren't many changes, except please go down to line 57 where it says students eligible for fee waiver. The question was asked if we actually provided Wi-Fi for students that were on a fee waiver. So I went in and I actually looked at the board rule, and the board rule says that you either have to provide access to that course and the Wi-Fi in your school building during the school day, or you have to give the student a device and access to Wi-Fi at home. So since what we do is we provide access during the school day, that's what we put in there. So you'll see that on lines 59 to 61, and I made sure that that was in accordance with the law, so we should be good there. And then the online I didn't know what to call this because I didn't want to call a procedure the same thing the policy was called. So added online learning procedures. Does somebody have a suggestion for a better word there? Like ChatGPT was like protocols, procedures. I was like, okay.
Process, no.
Oh.
Is it a process?
It's not really a process. Information, online, I don't know.
I think procedures is maybe the best word.
I think it's fine.
Okay. And then this just goes through. We didn't make any changes to this. You'll just notice all the strike through because that's what we had before, and we've just aligned this to what our practice is as we're moving over to Utah Online School for a lot of this. So just want to get this going.
All right, do we have a motion on policy 4050 online learning?
I move that we approve policy 4050 online learning as discussed in open meetings tonight.
Okay, motion made by board member Boyce. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ooh. Second by board member Hall. Any discussion?
You can have the next.
Okay, all in favor with aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And now we are at our consent calendar, which we did discuss earlier. Do you have something to share, Wendy?
Yeah, I got a text from Nate Edvelson, so we have a change to East Bay Post High. Hold please, because Emily asked me the question of how many kids, and he said it's 3, and he said it's actually on Monday, May 18th at 9 a.m.
At Grandview still?
Okay.
at Grandview.
So we're talking about our calendar.
At the calendar, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
May 18th at 9 a.m.
Yep, sorry.
Okay. Are you still able to do that, Emily?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you for the update, Wendy.
Yep, sorry about that.
Okay. Now let's move on to our consent calendar, and we did share questions there. So do we have a motion there at our study session? Do we have a motion to approve our consent calendar?
I move that we approve the consent calendar.
Okay, motion made by board member Boyce. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice President Hales. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, all in favor? Oh, Terry?
We did ask for some changes, and I don't know if the motion.
Oh, I didn't say it.
Bonnie already changed it. That you like our schools. They're not sour schools.
No, not that, but like in the financial, Dixon to Shoreline and whatever else was talked about.
Okay, I think that's included.
On the financial one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
thank you.
do we need to officially say as discussed in open meetings?
Can I edit my
We can add that, yeah.
to move that we approve the consent calendar as discussed in open meetings tonight?
Okay, thank you. So motion made by board member Boyce, and who was our second? Yeah, do you still second that?
Yes, still
Okay.
second.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. And now we move on to the part of our agenda where we have reports. So we'll start with our business administrator report with Devin.
I'll make mine quick because it's almost 8:30. I really want to shout out my team for all their help that they gave on fees and all the other things as I was working on getting the budget ready for next year. So thank you to my team.
Yes, thank you. All right, next student board member report. Turn that over to Rachel.
My name is Rachel Rue. I'm the student board member representing Timpview High School. Because it's the last month before school ends, we did not have a student advisory council meeting, but I was happy to hear that we had quite a couple of candidates for the Timpview student board member, and I'm happy that Malaki got chosen as I was able to work with him, and I've seen how passionate he is and that he really does like to discuss issues and that he's also a very smart kid. And I hope that we will be able to find a Provo High School student board member soon, and I'm open to helping out any way I can. Other than that, there are no comments from me. Any questions?
Just thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Go ahead, Meg.
I was just going to say thank you for being on the board this year and being so engaged. And I really have enjoyed, especially watching you and Bailey lead the student advisory councils, and that's just really been awesome. So thank you so much.
No problem.
I've got a question, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thinking back, maybe it's hard, but a year ago when you were appointed or chosen, do you feel like you spent about the amount of time you thought you were going to spend, or did you spend more time on this than you thought you would spend, or less time? I'm just curious, because I'm always wondering if students, I mean, you've realized it's a big responsibility. What are your thoughts on that?
I would definitely say it was a lot more than I expected. I think, of course, you see like, oh, this many hours on paper, but in reality, it is a lot more different. And definitely the back-to-back study session to business session can be a little bit exhausting, but I feel like I still always end up enjoying my time, and I always end up learning something new. So it's never been boring, or I felt like I'm wasting my time per se, because I don't know, I feel like these things are interesting and they're topics that actively are affecting me or the people around me. So those are my thoughts.
Great question.
Thank you.
I had a
go ahead.
question.
Yeah.
Did you win your game?
We did not win our game,
I'm
unfortunately.
sorry.
We played in like a good 90-degree weather, but
So hot.
we put up a fight though, I think.
Good.
It was a sad way to end the season, but it's fun.
Well, it's been a joy having you serve with us, and good luck in your next endeavors. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you,
I
Rachel.
would love for you to come in intern and help me write policy as a political science student.
I would love to
At
do
any
that.
time you would like to do that.
Anything to build my law school admission stuff.
There you go.
See? Like a pseudo lawyer by the time.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
All right, next is our board member roundtable. This is the opportunity for board members to share anything that they've been working on, or committees, things like that. If they'd like to, you don't have to, but Lisa, we'll start at your end. And
Yeah, I just mostly want to say thank you to the Wendy and Devin and our district team. You guys work so hard and have been dealing with really challenging things on top of your full-time job, I feel like. So just thank you. That's all I really wanted to say tonight, is I'm really grateful.
In the beginning of January, I guess, we started receiving lots of emails, and I counted over 100-ish, right, emails about saving music in our schools, and you know, we get this award, and if you look in the back with the booklet, we've actually won this award multiple times.
Nice.
And individual teachers have also won the award. So it was the school district, Edgemont Elementary, the Art Etc. program. Yeah, and we've also received, like, I have counted because I haven't read all of the DLI emails, but I have 90 unread emails in my inbox because I've had to spend too much time in the hospital lately. So I will get to them eventually.
thank you, Terry.
This is a very busy month, and on top of the very busy month, there's been lots of other things that have come up, and I'm just grateful to echo what Lisa said, grateful to district administration. I'm also grateful to the parents who have come to our community meetings and have expressed their viewpoints. Whether or not I personally agree or disagree, it is so nice to hear what people are thinking, and it has changed. It has literally changed the way I've thought about different issues that we're studying. And so I appreciate everyone who is paying attention, and I really, really appreciate those community members who watch the board meetings, because it's a lot easier to have the conversation with you about what's happening when you are kind of caught up on what we've talked about. And I recognize they're really long meetings, as Rachel pointed out. They can be gruesome, not gruesome, grueling, gruesome, that too, grueling. And so just thank you. Thank you for engaging with us, and thank you for giving us the benefit of the doubt as we move forward and try to be transparent about all the decisions that we're making.
Okay. Thank you, Gina. We'll go ahead and go to Meg.
Yeah, waive my time.
Okay. Emily?
I'll just say, kind of along the lines of what Gina's saying, the public meetings have been so interesting to be at, and the amount of love that people have for their schools is kind of like heartening for me. Like, wow, it's great to be living in a community that people really do care about education, and they showed up to those meetings, and I appreciate it.
Go ahead, Melanie.
I had the opportunity to go this afternoon to the CAP showcase, and it's just fun to watch the kids and their what they learned, and it was fun to walk around, and wasn't that very busy so I was able to chat with each one of them, and it was just fun, and they were so excited about what they had done, and I actually got to play a couple of their games that they produced and stuff. So that's a fun program that we have.
Nice. I will echo all the thanks and sentiments that have been shared for our administration and the hard work they're doing, and also for our parents who are engaging with us. And I also want to give a shout out to our foundation, the people who volunteered their time to serve on that foundation board. I'm looking forward to recognizing them more formally in board meeting, but at the end of April, they had our annual auction fundraiser and put a lot of time and effort into that, and we're able to bring in money that will support the work that we're doing in our schools that way and support our students. So I'm really excited about that. And with that, we'll turn it over to Wendy for the superintendent report.
I just wanted to report on the Community Connections Committee, because it's a committee that none of the board members are actually a part of. We have quite a variety of individuals, and kind of we went through the same community meeting presentation that we've been doing at each of the schools, and just talked through some different things, and it was very interesting because they're very engaged and they feel like we're communicating very well as to what's going on. And so sometimes it's just about what you have the bandwidth to be able to do, right? Like, this isn't because anybody's purposefully not participating. It's just, you don't have time. And I just appreciated their sentiments, some of the ideas that they shared, and just a desire to really help support our schools. And so you just feel that, and you have to think about that even when the criticism comes in. That's okay, because it's still a dialogue and we're still trying to work through things, and those perspectives really matter. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity to connect with people across our district in those ways.
Wendy, is there anything from that meeting that they shared that we should be aware of, like a direction that they feel we are on the right path with, or that we should consider?
I think one of the things, I think there were a lot of varied opinions about it. I think there was, in that particular committee, there was concern about closing a Title I school and the impact that it has. There are individuals that have quite a bit of research experience about, a lot of people quote the Honashek survey or the study from 2004. That's where parents were opting their children. I think they lived in the Oakland area and were moving into Palo Alto. And that these individuals were disputing that, saying it's different when it's a parent choice versus a forced school relocation, and it has a very different feel on a community. So their concern from several of them was more about really being mindful of the impact on highly impacted communities, and how important it is for parent engagement when a parent can walk to the school to participate in those things. And I actually thought that was a really powerful comment, because it's one thing to say you're going to bus your kids. It's a completely different thing if the parents can't get to that location, and then you lose that sense of community. And so that was something that they talked about, and just the appreciation. They didn't feel like any of this was a surprise because they've been following all of the conversations and that type of thing, but they're also very highly engaged individuals too. So.
Okay, thank you. All right. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn our business meeting and a motion to convene an executive session for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining, school security, litigation, and the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual?
I move that we adjourn the business meeting and convene an executive session for the purpose of discussing collective bargainings, school security, and the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Harrison. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Hall.
I think you missed litigation.
Yeah, I was going to say litigation's not on there.
It's not
It is on there.
Did I say it?
I think you just skipped over
It is.
It's not in the motion, but it is in the subject line, but we probably need to.
You need to redo the motion, just
Okay.
amend your motion.
I'll amend my motion to say,
Okay.
motion to adjourn and motion to convene an executive session for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining, school security, litigation, and the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual.
Okay, yes. Great.
Then
So
I'll
motion made
second.
by Board Member Harrison, second by Board Member Hall. And so we are now adjourned, and we will convene our executive session.
Do we have to have a vote?
Sorry, because we have to, sorry, thank you. We will go to a roll call vote.